Hello students, this is Mr. Kissinger. I'm here doing our test packet, our retake paper that we do. If you would like to redo the comparing bits and pieces test and you feel like you either need to because I told you you have to, or you would like a better score, this is the paper that you need. And so I'm going to work through these problems. You need to just follow along. Make sure your paper looks like mine. Copy the way I'm doing this. And then off on the side, I have little problems that you're going to have to do as well. So let's get started. Trey's car has a 20-gallon fuel tank. The fuel gauge points to 1/4. If Trey buys 10 gallons of gas, what will be the new reading on the gas gauge? So let's take a look here. We know it's a 20-gallon fuel tank, so I'm going to put a 20 up there. If it was all the way full, it'd be right there at 20. 0 is empty. Well, half of 20 is 10, and then half of 10 is going to be 5. And in between 10 and 20, I know is 15. So I'm looking at that right now, and he says that he buys 10 gallons of gas. So I'm at 5 right now. I need to add another 10. So 5 plus 10 is 15. I'm going to write that down. 15. 15.234. So his reading will be 3/4 of a tank. That's our answer. Now, here's what I would like you to do off on the side. If we have an 80-gallon tank for our vehicle, and we can see that we are already 3/4 full, how many more gallons do we need to put in to fill the tank? Solve that problem, and that's going to be one of your tickets to take the test. Let's go to problem 2. Blake was listening to his favorite radio station. He noticed that during 1 hour, 15 songs were played, and 3 of them were from a group from Michigan. What's the ratio of songs by the group from Michigan to the total number of songs played? Well, it says right here, ratio of songs by the group from Michigan. So I know, reading from the problem, that's 3 to, because it's a ratio, 3 to the total number of songs. Well, it tells me right up there, and it's 15. 3 to 15. I can reduce that ratio to 1 song for every 5. So we need to write this as a unit rate. Well, we almost kind of have it done here. I know that there's going to be 1 or 5 songs for every Michigan song, for every 1 Michigan song. Again, the whole idea of unit rate, and this is big, is how much for one thing. So the other way I could do this is if I wanted to see how many Michigan songs are there for every 1 song, well, that's going to be 15 songs were played, and 3 of them were, so 15 songs for every 1 Michigan song. Yeah, and if we were going to do the other way, we would have how many times does 5 go into 1? And our answer is going to be 0.2. And so here we're going to have 0.2 Michigan songs. I'm just going to be MICH songs for every 1 song. Alright. So on your piece of paper, I'd like you guys to change this now. Let's say there's 20 songs. Of those 20, 5 are rock. 5 are rock songs. So there's not a lot of space over here. You can probably do this off on the side. Oh, I have one more question here. Suppose the station continues to play this ratio of songs. How many times will Blake hear songs by the same group in the next 3 hours? So I know in 1 hour, it's 15. 1 hour, sorry, there's 15 songs, but 3 of them were from Michigan. Let me change that 15 to a 3. Well, the second hour is going to be 6, and the third hour is going to be 9. So it's going to be 9 times. You're going to hear music from the group from Michigan. Alright, let's go to our next part down here. So, fill in the missing parts of this table. We have 3/8 over here, and we need to make this into a decimal. So, 8 goes into 3. When we have a fraction we have to convert to a decimal, we just divide. The denominator goes on the outside, numerator on the inside. 0.8 goes into 30 3 times. It's 24. 6, bring down my 0. 8 goes into 60 7 times. 56. 60 minus 56 is 4. Bring down my 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times. Goes in evenly. Life is good. So, our answer here is 0.375. 0.375. I'm going to use the purple marker on this one. That gray just does not make it nice. So my percentage here, I'm going to use move the decimal over 2 spots. So we're going to have 37.5%. We could round up to 38%. Let's do our next one. We have 0.88 as a percent. Again, just move it over 2 spots. It's going to be 88%. Now, as a fraction, it's going to be 88. Let me put it over here, over 100. But I can also reduce this. And both of these, 4 goes in really nicely. So it's going to be 22 over 25. As a fraction, just put it over 100. Now 35%. Now we're going to move that decimal 1, 2 right there. So it's going to be 0.35 as a fraction. That's 35 over 100, or divide by 5s, 7 over 20. 1 1/4. And this one's an interesting one. We need to figure out that 1/4. So we're going to do how many times does 4 go into 1? And 4 goes into 1 0 times. Bring up our decimal. 4 goes into 10 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. 4 goes into 25 times. So we are all done at this point. 0.25. Remember, we had that 1 there, so it's going to be 1.25. Now, again, move that decimal 2 spots. We're at 125%. Our decimal here is 0.625. Move it 2 spots. 62.5%. If you were to round that, be 63. Now here we have, that's our tenths, that's our hundredths, and that's our thousandth spot. So our fraction here is going to be 625 over 1,000. Now we can reduce that one, and I'm going to just reduce that one over here off the side. I know that 25 goes into that fairly nicely. So for every 100, it's going to be 4 of them. So I have, looks to me like 25 groups up there, and divide that by 25. I'm going to end up with 40. I'll score this. This is going to reduce nicely. 25 goes into 40. Divide again by 5. It's going to be 5 over 8. So 625 over 1,000, or 5 over 8. Our last one, 275%. Move that decimal over 2 spots. My decimal is going to be 2.75, or as a fraction, 275 over 100. You could also reduce that one. I'm going to do that over here on this side. I know 25 goes into that nicely. So 100 has 4 of them, 200 would be 8 of them, and another 3 for the 75. So it's going to be 11 over 4. 11 over 4 would also work there. It's a little sloppy. My apologies for this box not being as large. You can make another copy if you'd want. What I need you guys now to do is 7/8. Make this into a decimal and turn that into a percent. Backside. Let's look at our first question here. Michael decided to make French toast. He finds a recipe that calls for the following ingredients: 8 slices of bread, 4 eggs, 1 cup of milk, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So, question A, how much egg is used for each slice of bread? So, we need for each slice, and that's going to be important here. Each slice means just one thing. So, we know there's 4 eggs to every 8 slices of bread. But I want this 8 here to be 1. So I'm going to divide both sides by 8. By doing that, that's going to force this to be 1. So now I have 1/2 of an egg for every 1 slice of bread. So let's do part B. How much milk is used for each slice of bread? So we have 1 now to 8. Using our same method of dividing by 8, that's going to change this into 1/8 of a cup of milk for every 1 slice of bread. Question C. Michael makes a single recipe and shares the food equally among himself and 4 other family members. Now, when I see that himself and 4 others, that's 1 plus 4, so that means there's 5 people. How much French toast does each person receive? Well, there's 8 slices of bread, so it's going to be 8 divided by 5, it's going to be 1. Our remainder is 3, 1 3/4 slice of French bread. French bread. Alright, so off on the side, I'd like you now to do the same thing. Let's say they want to make this a little bit sweeter, or a lot sweeter actually. Figure out how many tablespoons they need for 1 slice of bread. Alright, last problem, question 5. In each figure, express the area shaded and the area not shaded as percent. So, let's take a look here. This box is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 10. And I'm counting there's 10, 12 of them are shaded. So it's going to be 12 over 100. So 12 over 100, and not shaded is 88 over 100. As a percent, that's 12%. Not shaded is 88%. Let's try B. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5 by 5. There's 25 squares. 2 of them are shaded. So it's 2 over 25. Well, over 100, 25 times 4 gives me 100. So 2 times 4 will give me 8. This is 8% shaded. If it's 8% shaded, it's going to be 92% not shaded. Just subtract from 100. Last one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 pieces to this. So there are 3 of them that are shaded. There are 7 that are not. So 3/10, and I want this to be over 100. Well, the easy way is just add zeros, because you're multiplying by 10. So this is 30%, and not shaded is 70%. What I'd like you to do is make this drawing over on the side. It's a 2 by 10. There's 20 total little rectangles. 3 of them are shaded. So I would like you to tell me what percent is shaded and what percent is not. Guys, I hope this was beneficial. Again, take this in, bring this in, do those side problems, bring it in to me, and this is your ticket to take the retake. Thank you so much.